Hi everyone, my name is Erin Elizabeth Weinberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. Today we have a tarot reading because we have, ready, a full beaver blood moon eclipse in Taurus. So we got a lot going on here. Okay, so full moons, as always, are about releasing, they're about letting things go. They're about a time to kind of wrap things up and move on with your life. Like, we want to focus on releasing energy. It's called a beaver moon because in North America, what this is named for, it's around the time of year where beavers are getting ready to make their little nests and their homes or whatever they do, amazing things they do so they can survive the winter. Blood just means it's closer to Earth than normal this full moon, so it's going to look like red because it can reflect more of the sun's light. And then eclipses are about faded changes. There's a 3-hour one this time right now, and this is the longest lunar eclipse we're going to have in like 600 years. So eclipses are about faded changes, they're about karmic checkpoints, they're about, so if you feel like some big shifts or things coming in, being really intentional with this energy to let things go. With this Taurus, full moon Taurus energy of releasing, this is a good time to connect to all of that and set your intentions and just really release things. So for today's tarot reading, this is a timeless reading. So if you're not watching this when all of that is going on, there's still a message in here for you if you felt called to watch it. So I've inserted a picture. I have 3 groups for you today. I inserted a picture. So you can pick by the sound of my voice. You can pick by group 1, 2, or 3, or you can pick by the bird feather that you see. Just take a moment, listen to your intuition, choose your group. All the timestamps are below, and I will see you at the reading that you chose. Hi everyone, welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 1. So you picked the red-tailed, very beautiful. So this is a number 20, so that might be significant for you. Look out as a sign for you. But so red-tailed, this is about the energy of resilience. So before I go into this, just a reminder, this is about full moons. So full moons are about releasing. I'm going to be reading the cards in that way. But of course, just take what resonates for you. Leave the rest because it's just a general reading. But so red-tailed is about resilience. So if you pick this group and you're thinking, okay, well, I should give up on this thing because it isn't working out for me or it isn't happening or whatever, this card is really about being committed to the long run and continuing to show up for something, no matter how long it seems like it's taking to have happen, or, you feel like it's just not happening, or, any and all of that. So this card is really about, with this full moon, is not letting go of something. It can be about unhooking your energy from the attachment to it. But this really is about the resilience required to get to that other side, to make something happen, to see something through the long term. So with this full moon, you don't want to let go of working on it. You want to let go of fear or doubt or the timeline that maybe you're projecting onto something. So you'll know what it is for you, how this resonates for what I'm saying. Trust what comes up for you, but just know this red-tailed energy is really about, resilience. It is about seeing something through the end for long term. It is about staying committed to something even when it's hard for us to see things in physical reality aligning in the way that would give us, the hope and courage to keep going. But that's what faith is. Faith is continuing to move forward even when we don't see the evidence we want to see to make us feel like we can keep going. So keep going, let go of doubt with this full moon. Okay, so like usual, I'm going to start with your tarot, and then I will close with your oracle cards. So for group 1, you have the 4 of Pentacles, you have the Tower, you have Strength, 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups, oh, I love the 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands, and 4 of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, so I feel like group 1, what are you're scared to let go of something. You're scared. 4 of Pentacles right into the Tower. This tells me you're scared to let go of a story you're telling yourself to protect yourself because things are going to fall apart, or things are going to be different, or you're going to have to go out of your comfort zone or whatever. So maybe there's some catastrophizing going on here. There's like, if I don't, control everything or keep this story to my chest or believe this anymore, if I don't protect myself so much, then all hell's going to break loose. My life is going to burn down. Nothing's going to be there for me. I'm not going to be able to do it. So I think, sometimes we can have these fear stories keep playing in our minds for so long that we just don't even realize how much they're contributing to our lives. and how much, when we don't share those stories or don't identify them or don't kind of hold them to the light, they can gain momentum and they can gain power over us, and we can feel even more confused or more scared or more unsure about what's going on. And so here, I think with this full moon, you can ask and pray for some releasing of this. Like, what are you really clutching onto? Like, if I don't believe this anymore, or if I put myself out there, or if I change my mind about this thing, what is this thing that you feel like is all going to come crashing down? And the human mind is so funny, it's so limited, because we expect all this change and these new things in our lives, but to get there, we know things have to kind of break down or change in our current circumstances if we want new circumstances, but we don't think about that. We just think about what comes, and then we get scared of the things that could be changing or leaving. So I think with this full moon, really interrogating yourself and really just writing, a lot of our fears, if we just make the list and then this is what I'm afraid of, and share it with someone who we trust and we have like a loving relationship with, it can make it seem, we can realize like, oh, it's not that bad. It's, the saying, a problem shared is a problem cut in half. And so just even sharing with someone, connecting with someone might be helpful for you to just, bring those fears to the light so that you aren't totally consumed and, just feeling like totally, like I can't do anything about this. This is like the end of the world. This is why I can't change. And, fear, as a reminder, is, or self-sabotage or not moving forward, is this isn't anything to blame yourself for. It just happens because we're trying to protect ourselves, right? When we're scared to move forward, even though it might seem like we're sabotaging ourselves or it's something negative, it's actually us just trying to protect ourselves and to stay in our power and to stay sovereign and not to, well, if I do this thing, then this is going to happen. So again, see if you can offer some kindness energy. You can let go of some of that judgment, that holding on, recognizing, okay, I'm doing this because in like a weird, twisted way, I'm trying to protect myself. So can I be a little more kind and understanding towards myself about that? Because look, right after this, we have strength right afterwards. So this is, tarot is very literal. You have the strength to do this, okay? So if you are worried you can't handle it, or if you are worried that your life is going to fall apart, or maybe you got rejected for a job or for a romantic relationship or this business venture you were trying or something, and then you're worried if you do it again, like you're going to come crashing down, or, maybe it's like a repeat of something that has already happened and that's what you're afraid of. You have the strength to get through this, okay? You have the clarity, you have the wherewithal, you have the inner wisdom. Maybe an affirmation you can use is, I can handle this. I trust myself to be able to handle this. This is very, very clear that you have the strength to get through this. And so, a lot of times when we hang on, this Four of Pentacles is so much about hanging on to something that we need to let go, and hanging on to these things that aren't serving us. And, that can make us so exhausted because we're just trying to control and we're so scared to let go. And this is actually, you see the the posture and body language of this person on the strength card is like relaxed, they're open, they're calm, they're peaceful, right? And even just the infinity sign over their head is just so helpful for us to remember, like, we are infinite, we do have infinite resources. And then just remembering, even if things do break down or things don't go the way you want, anything that can be taken away from you is not something you need to survive, right? So we have so many ego attachments, we have so many things we're attached to, we have so many things that we think like, oh, well, if that leaves, then I'll die. And obviously, okay, food, air, water, sure. But there's so many things that we're attached to physical reality and the way we think they need to be, that we can block ourselves from accessing our own inner strength with that. And so I feel like, a lot of this fear and this clinging on is actually covering some sorrow with this Eight of Cups. So this is the theme of your reading. It's the center. So maybe there's some emotions you haven't dealt with all the way. Maybe there's some sadness or some sorrow or some hurt from something that's contributing to like what you're fearful of, that you haven't, maybe just needs a little bit more touch and a little bit more care and a little bit more space. Again, with these eclipses, this is about like faded changes, and this is about things moving forward for us and things happening. So if there's something that you need to kind of like just let yourself mourn, even if you've mourned it 100 times, even if it's from 10 years ago, even if it's from, whatever, and you have maybe some shame around that, this is really saying, there is loss, and loss and grief are things that they don't really ever go away. We just kind of like learn to deal with them and learn to live with them. And we can have amazing, beautiful lives anyway, but they're still part of us. So maybe is there some of this fear that's connected to like some loss that you're still processing, you need to reconnect to, all of that with this. And then also just a reminder that, when you do move forward in life, there is always going to be loss. It's just again, what I was saying, like when we want new things in our life, old things have to leave. And so maybe mentally preparing yourself for that. With this full moon, you can release maybe some of the attachment or fear of the loss. Maybe that's what you're afraid of. Maybe, you don't want to go through loss again, but just, you know, asking your higher power to help you own how powerful you are. Remember all the times you have gotten through different situations like this before, and remembering you do have the strength to get through it with this, and just really being gentle on yourself. I think, when we think about loss, we can't just be like, oh, I'm over it, done, the end. So you can't just be like, I'm releasing this on the full moon, I'm never going to deal with it again. That's not possible. But this is about just remembering to honor the path you're on, the process you're on, and just, maybe you can remove the story about the loss. So maybe there's judgment that like, oh, I'm still processing this, or this is still going on, or this is still a hard thing for me, whatever the story is. This can be just a chance for you to give yourself some compassion and know that, the tide always turns, yeah, okay. Things always change, and just give yourself permission to feel that loss. And what I'm feeling, right into the Six of Cups is sometimes we feel loss and it is connected to something that's happening now, but a lot of times it's connected to some of our inner childhood wounding. So I think this is a card. The Six of Cups is really about nurturing that inner child. It's really about, love, compassion, and care. I look at it as the inner child card, like just this very beautiful, just innocent energy. And so maybe if there's something you're clinging on to, the fear is like connected to something from your past that might be coming up, a trigger around that. Maybe you're wounding from a particular thing. So this is really saying, a way, something you can do with this full moon is really nurture that inner child and release maybe some of the judgments or the stories or the things you've been telling your inner child that don't actually serve you long term and don't actually help you with that. So, again, just maybe if you've been judging yourself for why can't I get this faster? Why isn't it just happening? Why isn't blah, 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 why am I afraid of this? But instead, it's so much different when we offer compassion to ourselves, when we're not, acting in the way we think or we want to be acting, than if we're putting shame or judgment on ourselves. And then I see once you do that, look at this, you're going right to the Two of Wands to the Four of Wands. So once you kind of release that, and you'll see, when we're so focused on the fear and what we're afraid of losing, we kind of block ourselves from all the options we can see, and we can have a choice in, and then also all the options that can be brought to us because of that. And so I think this is really saying, when you take a moment to clear this, to release some of this, to process maybe some of these older feelings, maybe you're trying to like push through something instead of dealing with some emotional things that are coming up and you're just trying to like ignore. But the truth is, once we deal with those emotional pieces, we have more energy, more peace, more awareness, more openness to be able to move forward with more ease, because we've cleared the roadway. So it's like easier for us to keep going. So I think once you do that, you'll see, you do have more choices than you think. Maybe a surprise opportunity will be brought to you in a way you didn't know. Maybe you're open to more creative possibilities for something to happen, right? To then just like, I'm holding on, it has to be like this, I have to protect my heart, I have to do this. But instead there can be space for, like I said, something unpredicted, something you didn't predict to come through and just help you. Because look at this beautiful closure reading. We have the Four of Wands. So this is the 1111 card. I read it as like a gateway card. So for you to get to that next layer of your life, that next thing of your life, it does require you letting things go. It does require you letting things die. It does require you tapping on your inner strength. And it does require you having some loss and nurturing your inner child and being open to all these possibilities. So all of this formula combined is going to get you to this other side. It is going to get you to, some of this whatever your goal is, whatever peace you want. Suffering isn't forever, circumstances aren't forever. You will be able to change and move into the next thing. And it is important for you to be able to stay open and to, we have a lot of moving parts going on inside of us all at once. And even when we think about your red-tailed card in the beginning, the resilience to go through all these emotions, to stay with yourself when things don't feel pleasant, that is what can push us into this gateway, into this portal, into this next level of our lives. Okay, and then I'm going to look at your oracle cards. sorry about that. I had an audio issue, but so we have blossoming into abundance. And so for this card, for your first oracle card. And so this card is about, kind of trusting the process, knowing that things don't happen immediately. The flower doesn't bloom overnight, doesn't blossom overnight. The butterfly isn't born overnight, right? There is this whole process we go through of releasing things, of things changing, of, basically this whole spread we looked at with your tarot of just like there is the other side and there are things to get to. And you're not just like immediately born, right? The butterfly, it's like a caterpillar and then literally turns to mush and then becomes a butterfly, which is like unbelievable. And so if you're feeling like mush right now, just remember this is part of the process, and the chrysalis, the transformation is all there and it's happening. And then the other side is always worth it. The abundance, the peace, all that is always worth it, even if, it doesn't, you might not feel like it in the moment. And then we have the card patience. So if you've tried forever to shift a problem, there's probably something to learn from embracing it. May I let this be for now? Help me relax and trust every need will be met. Often change soon follows. So this is kind of what I was talking about with the rest of the reading. A lot of times when we're like trying to push through something without dealing the emotional pieces that are there, the emotional clutter, or the emotional things that are coming up, right? It's like we can't move forward until we deal with all of that. So this is really saying, looking at what's coming up for you, what fears are coming up for you, what loss is coming up for you, what are some emotions that are being processed or showing up for you that maybe you need to look at. And there is this patience energy and just kind of bringing it to the light and getting more clear about it, instead of feeling like, okay, well, I need to push forward and move forward and then all my problems will be solved. That's usually not how it works. That oftentimes backfires on us, because if you don't deal with now, you're gonna have to deal with it later, and then usually later it's worse because it gained all this momentum because we ignored it for so long. And then so we have, in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So this is, again, I feel like with group 1, what I'm really hearing is like, don't do, like, a lot of times when we feel like unsettled or these emotions are coming up, we think we need to do something in physical reality, but actually it serves us so much more if we connect to the presence of love, to our higher power, to God, to whatever you call it, through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So sometimes we don't like praying, we don't like journaling, we don't like meditating, because we're like, well, I'm not doing anything. But actually what happens is you clear your channel and you allow yourself to be filled up with your own energy, and then that can radiate outward as a way to be able to be guided to clear these emotions, do all of that. So I think with group 1, if you want to release maybe some of this attachment you have to like what things you need to be doing in physical reality, instead just kind of open yourself up to having some support and connecting maybe to the other side, maybe doing some spiritual connection to yourself and allowing that energy to come in for yourself. So we have spread the light, very beautiful. So again, I think this imagery of stars here, of especially with this eclipse going on, this full moon, just kind of releasing some of the attachments to physical reality you have, and instead connecting to some of that divine invisible energy is always healthy and good for us. And it's a way for us to kind of nourish ourselves and have this energy, and it's a way for us to, we can have more physical energy when we're spiritually filled up, right? So connecting to our higher power, doing all of that actually does radiate into our physical reality. And so I think you can spread the light as long as you keep showing up for yourself, as long as you say, okay, this is how I'm going to offer this love and care for myself in this time, is how I can spread the light for myself in that way. And then last card is we have Lion with honor your soul and celebrate its journey. So I think this is really saying, again, sometimes we get so focused on the end goal or where we want to go or what we want to have happen or this life we want to create or blah, 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 that we forget that the journey is so amazing. We learn so much on the journey, and what happens on the journey is preparing us to be a match for the thing we're working for. And so I think with this full moon, if you haven't taken some time to just kind of reflect and think about all the things you've gone through, all the things you've done for yourself, all the resilience you've had so far in your life to be able to make these things happen, this is really saying, it's literally saying honor your soul and celebrate its journey. And so I think doing that, but then also, with this full moon, if you want to release some of these thoughts of like, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not blah, 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 whatever. And remember to look at your journey in the context of your life, right? Sometimes we can be like, oh, well, that person is so much farther ahead than me. But it's like, well, you have your own specific exact soul journey you had to work through to be able to get here. And so really honoring that and not, dismissing everything you had to go through individually to get you where you are. Okay, and then last thing I want to do is just pick one little affirmation for everyone today. Let's do one affirmation. Okay. I release the need to control my life. So exactly what we're talking about. I think that was a big theme with this Four of Pentacles, and even with this resilience card of like, it has to be on this timeline in this way and this thing happening. But this is a good affirmation. And again, releasing with this full moon, I release the need to control my life. So if there's something you've been, again, like sometimes we're scared to let go because we feel like we'll lose control and then something bad will happen, or we'll have the tower card moment where everything comes crashing down. But this is really saying, I release the need to control my life. Just practice saying that for yourself for a little bit, maybe meditate on it, see what comes up for you that you need to release, and then just allowing that process to move through for you. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Happy full moon. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi everyone, welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 2. So you guys picked the woodpecker card. Oh, before I start, this is the reminder, this is a full moon reading. So I'll be reading the cards in a way of releasing. But as always, take what resonates and leave the rest, because this is a general reading. If you're watching this when it is not the full moon, there could still be a message here for you if you felt called to watch this. Okay, but group 2, you guys picked the woodpecker. And so this bird energy is really about control. It's about remembering where we actually have control versus where we don't. It's about remembering, sometimes when we try to control other people or things we can't control, things outside of us, is actually when we feel the need to do that. That's when we need to look inward and be like, okay, what am I avoiding controlling in myself? What am I avoiding dealing with within myself that I'm trying to project outward, instead of, again, like kind of tapping in and being like, what is going on within me that I need to work with and deal with. So I think with this with this full moon, you can really think about aspects of control. You can think about, like letting other people have autonomy over themselves and their own lives, and letting even God have autonomy over the way things are playing out instead of us trying to control it, is one of the most healthy, loving parts and gifts we can show up to in all relationships in our lives. So I think, with this group, there's an area of your life where you are being too controlling, you are trying to make things happen instead of letting them happen. This can be just a reminder to stop. Just kidding. But just really examine that within yourself and check in with yourself and just be like, okay, what am I doing that's, what am I trying to control that's outside of my control, and where can I, again, put that on myself and focus on things I can control. My thoughts, my stories I'm telling myself, and all of that. Okay, so like usual, I'm going to start with your tarot, and then we will end with your oracle cards. Wow. Okay, group 2, we have the Star. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Empress. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Very nice. Then we have the King of Wands. Then we have the 5 of Swords. And then we have the 5 of Wands. So 2 5s to end it here for you. Okay, so I feel like I'm just getting a lot of ones. Okay, I feel like all of these cards together, so the Star, 7 of Pentacles, Empress, I feel like this is about, you've been in this flow, this formula, this good balance of a lot of things. So Star is about like our intuitive energy. 7 of Pentacles is like doing the physical reality work, putting the work in, putting the effort in, putting the time in. And then the Empress is like this very divine feminine energy that, again, regardless of your gender, we all have divine feminine energy to use and tap into. And so with this Star, this is about finding balance. This is about, so if you've been working in a certain area of your life or your whole life to create balance for yourself, you see like the pouring out, the kind of cleansing, letting things go, all of that. This energy is really about like self-nurturing and using your intuition to guide your steps to be able to do that, taking a pause, rebalancing, recalibrating, and all of that. So whatever's been going on for you, whatever I'm talking about, there's a situation that's probably coming to mind for you where your body's like reminding you about. So whatever you've been doing with that, congratulate yourself, take some time to be proud of that and do that, because that combined with this energy, which is more masculine energy of, again, regardless of your gender, Seven of Pentacles is about physical reality, doing things, making things work. And this is about taking a moment to pause and reflect. So I think this is for this group 2, you need to do some reflecting. This is a time for you to reflect. This is a time to look at how far you've come, maybe examine how have I not been giving balance to myself? How have I not been, doing some of this physical reality things going on? And just even, you can look at it under the lens and the reframe of control if you want, because that's, again, your first card that came out for you. So what are some things that maybe you can be controlling? Your stories, your emotions, your feelings, not controlling them, but just, checking in with them and seeing what they mean, what guidance you're getting from them. And then this, with where can you look at the ways you're doing some things in physical reality, because all that combined gives us this beautiful Empress energy. And when you do take time to reflect and focus on that, that gives us this Empress energy of she's it, baby. This is divine mother energy. So just really owning that power, just really tapping into that, really knowing, like this is my path, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, this is what I feel really called and connected to. And this is really beautiful. Just this, I love when tarot, like all this connects on here. So all these stars are kind of like on her crown, you can see at the top. So just really, I think to me that just symbols like your crown chakra, allowing this energy to come through, this guidance, this clarity, all of that for you. And then again, we are going from like some progression, some of these cards. So we have the 7 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. So even that of just saying like the fruits of your labor are coming. There are things that you've put in the time and effort for. And as you reflect and as you show gratitude and you're proud of yourself and you're continuing to do these types of things, this is going to continue to show up in your life. This 10 of Pentacles is the theme of your reading. So it's in the center. So I feel like group 2, there is so much abundance around you, and there is a lot of things for you to recognize and tap into and just be really grateful for that you have access to. And maybe you haven't been doing that, and you've been trying to control some of these other things versus the things that are actually being called to you to control, which is what this 10 of Pentacles is again. And just really recognizing you can have physical reality abundance when we put our focus on what we want. So much of life is just deciding what to say yes to and what to say no to. And we spend so much time being confused about what am I doing? Where am I going? What's going on? What should I be doing? And all of that, when actually the truth is, it's more about discernment and clarity and deciding what is for us and what is not for us, and what we're going to say yes to and what we're going to say no to, and how much that builds up for us instead of, just, it's like we have enough. It's just about knowing where to put our focus to be able to connect to that is really important. So I think with this, for you, group 2, you can, when you look at control, so basically just calling your energy back with this full moon, you can release, what am I trying to control? What am I trying to focus on? Where am I trying to put my energy, my time, my thoughts that isn't for me? And how can I be able to do that? And just kind of connect to abundance in ways that maybe my energy hasn't been connecting to or focusing on, or just where maybe it's cleaning up some energy leaks is like what I'm hearing. Because I have the King of Wands, who is definitely in his power. This is definitely passionate energy. This is definitely clarity. It's definitely awareness. So just a lot of, again, once you're clear about where you're putting your energy, and once you're clear about this is what I want to be focusing on, this is not what I want to be focusing on, it's easier for us to then channel that passion, that Wands energy into like, okay, well, I know I'm going to focus on this, this, and this because of these things that are going on around me. And so, or not going on around me, or I'm engaging with, or I'm not engaging with, or this is for me, or this is not for me, or this is, any of all of that. This is important energy to just really tap into and own, and just know that you're doing it when you get, this, it's all part of the process is what I'm hearing. And it does add up. It does make a difference. It does help guide you to where you need to be going, but you have to be willing to let some of these things go, and trust the process, and, resort your energy out, call it back to you, let things go, say no, say yes, all of that. You do have to be able to do that in order to get to this King of Wands, powerful energy of being like, this is what, this is where I'm going to put my focus and my passion, and that's going to make me feel empowered. And, this king energy, again, regardless of your gender. And then I think this is just an interesting message. I think I'm going to pull a few more tarot cards to get some clarity around this. But so you have 2 5s, so the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. And so both of these are about inner confusion or maybe some fears, maybe some conflict. So this is like, you can't take everything with you. It's about like slyness, about like, maybe being cheated or things like that. And then this one is about obviously conflict, about, a little bit of chaos back and forth, all of that. So I think with both of these cards, maybe something that's coming up for you to release, especially now that we have eclipse energy, is like, is there an old conflict that you're still holding on to? Is there like an old betrayal wound you're still holding on to? Something like, because to me, these first cards in the spread, the first 5 are all very clear. It doesn't feel like heavy energy. It just kind of feels like, yeah, okay, straightforward. This is what I know what to do. But these last 2 at the end are kind of just like, there's something in the distance or something in the recent past, or maybe not recent past, that is like maybe coming up for you with this eclipse energy. So I think whatever I'm saying, whatever comes up for you, trust that. But, just really focusing on, what is this process. There's so many things in life that are so straightforward and we know what to do, but we don't do them because we have some wounding or some things to deal with or clear that we haven't been. So this is, I think we want to look at, maybe do you have a betrayal wound you want to write a forgiveness letter on or release or pray about healing the resentments with? Or is there a conflict or something you're afraid of being conflict with or in about that like kind of blocks you on this path? Because again, these first 5 cards are very straightforward. It's very simple. It doesn't seem like any confusing energy is in there. So these 2 kind of coming through is, I think, a small message for you. Sorry about that, everyone. I had a filming issue, but so we're going to pick a few more cards to get a little clarity for you, but maybe what some of these lingering things could be going on for you. And maybe just get a little tiny more insight, because it feels like pretty straightforward, except for these last two things. So if you've been avoiding something or dealing with something, let me just see what comes out. Okay, 1 fell. And 2. We'll take 1 more. More guidance. Okay, so you have the 4 of Cups, 7 of Wands, and Justice. So I feel like you didn't receive something that you feel like you should have received, and it's created some inner conflict and doubt within yourself, and you're waiting for justice to be served. So this could be maybe someone didn't like you back, maybe you didn't get a job promotion you wanted, maybe something came too little too late, something like this. There's something coming on where there was like a missed something, and that's kind of like some lingering energy of betrayal or conflict, and then it really kind of shook you up. You kind of 7 of Wands to me is about like conflict that we make worse with our own mind than kind of what happened in reality. And again, not negating or minimizing what you're going through, but just sometimes, we can really contribute to those thoughts and those stories we're telling ourselves. And then with this Justice card, I feel like maybe you're waiting for something to happen to remedy it in 3D reality. Maybe you wanted to have another conversation. Maybe you wanted, I don't know, some accountability that didn't come. And I feel like that's really blocking you with this process. So whatever I'm talking about, and this is a really specific message, so if this isn't resonating for you, check one of the other groups. But for this, whoever's watching this, it's resonating with, this is really about kind of cleaning up and releasing some of that, and knowing that like justice, God is ultimate authority, God is ultimate justice. And again, when we talk about that control thing, you can't control how other people are going to like get their comeuppance, or the karma that's going to come for them, or the accountability that's going to happen for them at different points in their lives. So This could be something from a long time ago that's triggered again, because this is like eclipse energy. But I feel like a little bit of that is like lingering. And so maybe you can connect some of that story to these things going on and just see if you can, again, release some of that and know that you can't control if people are going to be accountable for themselves and people are going to change if they do want to, grow or change or you can't control any of that. So kind of releasing it. So, okay, so look at this. So feel it to heal it. So I feel like, again, this last little bit of what came through in the tarot is very clear that there's something resonating that maybe you just need to feel a little bit more. Maybe you just need to journal about one more time. Sometimes we can have some judgment when we have to do that, but who knows? Human life, who knows what the hell is going on? Sometimes something we can get triggered by something that was so long ago, but then we still have to feel it again and heal it one more time or just hold space for it. So if there's any self-judgment coming up with that, this card is just a reminder, to feel those energies, to heal them. And then, so we have this card, striving. Eventually, the individual ego's drive to make things happen falls away, replaced with a relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. Thank you, Divine, for letting me move with the flow. So again, this is really what I was saying with these cards. Of the first 5 cards are very clear. It's very straightforward. You know what to do. You know the formula, but there's been some striving or things haven't been happening because of this old blocked up energy that's maybe coming through. So this is really talking about, just stop forcing it. And instead, once you heal and deal with these things and kind of release some of these last emotions, it's going to make things so much easier and flow so much easier for you than, if you weren't doing that. Because then we have my vibes speak louder than my words. So this card is really about embodiment. It's really about, it doesn't matter what people are saying or doing to you. It's about what you're, again, with this control piece, it is about how you are, it's about embodiment. And it's about, okay, it doesn't matter if this person apologized or not. What am I going to do? What am I going to embody? How am I going to move forward in my life? What's my path? What am I doing with all this? So this card is really about knowing, people can say they can say whatever they want, but it's like at some point there's an energetic mismatch between what they're saying and what they're doing. They're not going to be able to attract or connect with pure things because they're so focused on, they're not focused enough on this disconnect. So this is really saying with this control theme for this group, knowing that, okay, how can I clean up my energy? How can I make sure my words are matching my actions? How can I do some of this to really own that embodiment? And then that's going to give so much more freedom. And then you have field mount, success. So believe in yourself and dare to dream big. So very cute. So again, I think this is really saying if you've been waiting for an apology or for some justice to be served or something, it's a lie that we need a specific thing to happen in physical reality for closure. It would be nice and it would help up the process for sure with a lot of things. But, maybe if you've been putting a lot of your energy on this thing that's unresolved and has come back up, you can be blocking yourself. So dare to dream big could just be a reminder to like, okay, well, this process is here. I know what to do. How can I start to shift even just a little bit of my energy to connect to that instead of focusing so much on, these things are maybe draining. It feels like an energy drain also. And then we have take a breather. So again, I feel like this is like the reflection energy that came through definitely in your cards, but also this is kind of a little bit of a heavy reading for group 2. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just remember, be nice to yourself. You can only go at the pace you can go at for you. Things can only happen in their divine right timing. You can't force anything to happen. You can't make anything happen sooner than it's going to happen. So with this full moon, if you're releasing stuff or letting things go, it's not that you don't have to do everything overnight. You don't have to heal everything overnight. You don't have to, and you can't, but you also don't have to. So this is really about, again, that striving card of just like, when you stop forcing it or stop being like, it has to be this exact way, things can just kind of flow way more easily. So this really is about taking a breather, giving yourself space to just relax and let things flow in a way that maybe, when we try to control, and again, control is a big thing for this group. So if you're trying to control something so much that we like mess it up because we're so focused on it. So take a breather, put your energy back on you, relax, take a break, all of that energy. Okay, and then I just want to pick affirmation card to close all these readings for everyone today. Let's see, what affirmation do we have for group 2? I create my future today. How nice. So again, this is, I think, with this field mouse card that came out, this is about, you know, do like the process is here. You know what to do. I feel like what I'm really hearing is you don't need more guidance. You don't need another path drawn out for you. You know what to do. It's just about kind of closing up this energy from all of this chaos cards of all of those and kind of letting it flow into being like, okay, I know I can do X, Y, and Z thing, and I can create my future today, and I can take one little action that moves for that. So again, maybe with this full moon, you want to journal and think about, you know, if I didn't have all of this resentment or anger or whatever, then maybe I would put my energy into here. Or if I wasn't so focused on this particular thing, then more of my energy could go to this. So this is really about, again, creating your future coming from a place of, you know, just choosing one thing today, even if it's just one small, tiny little thing. It was just expressing gratitude or trying, set the intention to release something, right? One thing that can be one step in the right direction of where you want to be going. And it doesn't have to be a physical reality thing. It can be, you know, energetic shift. Those are just as important too. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you for choosing to be with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi everyone, welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 3. So as a reminder, this is a full moon reading, so I will be reading the cards in a way that is about releasing things and letting things go. But if it is not the full moon when you're watching this, then there is a message in here for you. So just take what resonates, leave the rest as always, because this is just a general reading. But so group number 3, you guys picked the Robin card. Card 6, so maybe 6 is meaning for you. So the Robin is about like recharging, re-energizing yourself. You know, a lot of times when we go through different transitions or where things are changing in our lives, or, you know, it's just periods of time where we just need to have more, we need to pour more energy into ourselves. We need to recharge more. We need more rest. We need more whatever, especially with eclipse season that can happen because like we get these changes coming through for us. So you're kind of in that space right now. This card is really saying, don't be afraid to recharge. Don't be afraid to re-energize yourself, especially with this Robin. You know, maybe you need to spend some time outdoors, maybe get some sunshine if you're in an area where there is sunshine right now, but just really showing up for those needs and really owning and just giving yourself the nourishment and care you need, and just knowing that, you know, we're not robots. We don't need the exact same formula every single time, every single year, every single minute of our lives. We do change and grow, and things change, and we do need to re-energize and recharge sometimes. So group 3, and maybe with this full moon, you can look at some things you can release or let go of, so you do have more time and energy to recharge and connect with yourself again. That's definitely coming through. So it could be physical things you're doing that you need to release, or it could be emotional, energetic things you need to release. I mean, any and all of that are things that could, you know, come through with this card for you. Okay, so like usual, I'm going to start with your tarot, and then I will read your oracle cards after that. Okay, we have Knight of Swords in reverse to open your reading. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay, and King of Pentacles, center of your reading, Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Knight of Cups. So 2 knights bookmarking your readings. Yeah, I feel like this Knight of Swords in reverse, maybe you got really excited about something, maybe you took action towards something, maybe you just like got really hyped up and was like, okay, this is it, this is what I'm going to do, I'm really motivated, blah, blah, blah. You know, sometimes when we're coming at something like that from an ego place, it's not sustainable. You know, it's like when people get really excited to do an exercise plan, or, you know, change their eating, or start a new job, or do this creative project and get so excited, and then it's like, I'm going to do 8 million things at once, but that's not sustainable. So this card is really about, you know, maybe you tried to move forward and you tried to do that, or maybe, you know, someone you're seeing romantically, or there was like this big push to just like run forward and rush forward, right? That's what Knight of Swords upright is. But in the reverse is like, whoa, we got to pull back. This isn't what we thought it was. It's not happening in the way we thought it was. And the way we thought it was, I don't have the energy or stamina to do it that way. So this is really about, there's been some energy of pulling that back, and just kind of, so if I'm not saying too much disappointment, but maybe it's just kind of like a reality check of, okay, it can't actually be the way I thought it was going to be. And then right next to this Ace of Swords, it's about boundary reexamination. So it is about, really getting clear about like, okay, this is what I thought was going to happen, but maybe you just kind of ran forward without saying, okay, what boundaries do I need if I'm doing that? Who do I need to be to show up to that, to be a match for that? What do I need? Like, what do I need to do to clean up my side of the street and make sure, like my ducks are in order, my things are taken care of, so that I can be a better match for this idea, this thing I have coming forward that I want to pursue or make happen, or any and all of that. So this really is about, just moving forward with more boundaries. And then I think you have to do that because this Ace of Wands that's coming through is also about, Ace of Wands upright is about like new energy, new passion, new movement, new something happening, action happening. So I think this is really saying until you take that energy to set these boundaries, and then also this King of Pentacles energy, which I'll get to in a second, but until you take that energy to set these boundaries and pull your energy back and just get really clear about like, okay, I can't just fly through this like I thought I was gonna, or I thought it was gonna happen, or any and all that. You have to be able to have those boundaries, make a plan, think about self-discipline and dedication more than more than just this idea of, okay, I just need to make things happen and that's it. But this is actually about, what boundaries do I need to have? You can't like pursue the action long term and have the passion and motivation to make it happen until we have like our plan, right? There's a fine balance, but I feel like with group 3, the energy we're really getting here is have a little bit of a plan before you kind of just run forward with everything. You have to, the plan will get figured out along the way. Clarity definitely comes from action. We definitely get more insight and awareness into ourselves as we have been moving through things. But I think in this case, what's coming through is, kind of take a step back, make a list. What's all the things I need to consider about this? What's whatever, but just really tapping into that and making sure there's more of like a material, physical reality plan and things getting sorted out to be able to have the passion to move forward with that. Because once you kind of do that, we have this King of Pentacles, which is the center of your reading. So theme of your reading also, which is about, there's owning your power, baby, regardless of your gender. My readings are not gender specific, so this is just King energy. And so just knowing that when you do take a step back, when you pull your energy back from things that are not for you, when you know what boundaries you need to have, and when you stop focus so much on just like, oh, it's just magically going to work out, which like it does again, but we need to have that boundary and those limits and that awareness there. Once you do that, then you have so much more of this King of Pentacles energy, which is just about like total abundance, total like everything just got real. Everything is just like manifesting for me. I'm ready to go. I have all my pieces, like everything's going on. Once you like really own that energy and you have your plan and your awareness and your boundaries and what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. Once you have all of that, it's so much easier to tap into this energy. And then the rest of your reading is just crystal clear, which again, I'll get to in a second. But with this King of Pentacles energy, it really is about just knowing that when you take care of all these other things, all this other stuff can just kind of like fly forward and be helpful for you. So this King of Pentacles energy, again, it's about embodying your personal power. It's about knowing maybe you need a little recharge also. When we look at that, the Robin card that came out for you in the beginning, maybe this is about, maybe you tried really hard to go really fast and make things happen right away, but you actually need to look at boundaries, calling your energy back to you, having some balance within yourself. And that is gonna, result in this more balanced, clear King energy of like, I know what my boundaries are, I know what my balance is, I know what's working for me, what's not working for me, and this is how I can do it. And then look at this beautiful progression. So we had the Ace of Wands in reverse, and then we go Page of Wands to Queen of Wands. So I feel like, what's happening here is you're going to move more into this, like, maybe it was, you had an idea too soon before it could come to fruition, or you wanted something to happen sooner than it could come to fruition. But now, once you embody this King of Pentacles energy, you're really gonna, I just love this Page of Wands to the Queen of Wands. You're really gonna be like, it's gonna feel so easy. That's why I'm smiling. It's just gonna be so easy to get to the other side with this and just really own, this Page of Wands. Like, yeah, now I get it. Now I get why I had to wait till now. Now I get why I had to clean up my own energy. Now I get why I had to have some of these boundaries or get clear about this was a thing that was working for me or was not working for me, or this was how it was working or how it wasn't. And so once you kind of, sometimes we have to have all the pieces. There has to be divine timing. There has to be all these things at play. There has to be us doing our part while also surrendering some of the control. And then also with this refilling energy, this re-energizing energy, maybe it's just not time yet too, but we can see this really beautiful progression. So it starts off as like, oh yeah, maybe that's my idea. Maybe this is what I'm doing. Maybe this is how I want to move forward with it. And then as it picks up momentum, it's going to become crystal clear with this Queen of Wands embodiment energy. And like the vision maybe will come to fruition, or the things you want will become more clear. And then closing your reading, it just very beautifully connects to this Knight of Cups of just like, you're slowly going to take action towards it, right? We're slowly going to move forward, and the emotional energy is going to be there too. So I think this is the big message I'm getting here for you, group 3, is just cleaning up your own energy and maybe pouring into yourself, re-energizing yourself, recharging yourself. And then all of that is going to radiate outwards into like physical reality and the way you see things unfolding and happening for yourself. So this is, again, not about rushing through the process. It's about knowing some things, maybe there's so many times we're not doing anything wrong, but we might feel like it is because things aren't happening in physical reality we want. But this is just about having faith and knowing that things happen at their own pace and their own time. And, sometimes we're not doing anything wrong. It's just God's timing and not our timing. But this is really saying, you will get there and things will happen and they will come to fruition. So with this full moon, if you want to just journal or think about, what can I release of my expectations, or what did I try to push forward, when looking back, I can actually feel in my body it wasn't the right time for that thing to happen, or for it to be that way, or, whatever. And expressing gratitude for those delays, right? Sometimes we can get so frustrated, like, well, why isn't it happening yet? But actually, again, things don't happen until it's like divine timing and everything is a perfect match. And even if you force it without divine timing, that's when we can really mess ourselves up, because we're so focused on like, we can be so upset because we forced it and then it wasn't smooth or flowy or anything like that. And it was because, okay, well, it wasn't divine timing. We made it happen instead of kind of letting it happen to us. So I think with this group, taking a step back, taking a breather, letting things be for a little bit, not trying to force things. And then once it's time, things are really going to flow, as long as you stay in this power and embody that energy and like kind of be unmovable and clear and really owning that. And then that's just going to kind of radiate outwards into your life once it's time for things to happen. I mean, look, this is exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so we'll start with this one. We have trust. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. So, I mean, okay, if you're new to my channel, I don't pick my cards. I pick them in advance, but I don't hand pick them. So it's exactly what I was talking about. Sometimes we try to control things because we don't believe we're going to be taken care of unless we're controlling them. But this card is really about, again, exactly what I'm saying, divine timing, trust. I just love this sentence. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. So exactly what I'm talking about is staying in your sovereignty, staying in your integrity, staying in your faith, and knowing that trust is a result of faith, and having patience is a result of faith. And the more, we feel like, why isn't it happening yet? Why isn't it happening yet? We mess ourselves up because we're so focused on that, instead of letting, this timing come through and these things happen in a way that can benefit us. But instead we're trying to manipulate, or being like, why, instead of really working on, the energy practice of staying in our energy and staying in our power, instead of, being like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this? Why isn't that? And that is like energy leaks, instead of just being like, this is who I am. This is where I'm staying within myself. This is what's coming through for me as being really clear. And then we have, instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. So this can be a helpful prayer for you as you're waiting, whatever your prayer practice is. Maybe you can get really clear about, how are the ways I've been attached to physical reality of this happening. And praying for the highest good for all is like, just, you can say some, script it however you want, but you can say something like, even though I'm really attached to it being this specific way, this specific thing, this specific this, like, please God, higher power, universe, divine, whatever you pray to, please let it move through me in a way that is the highest good for all. Please let it move it so it's easeful for me. Please let me, pull my energy back from a place where it doesn't belong. and please let things unfold exactly as they need to. So sometimes, we get socialized into thinking praying is like, talking to a genie or talking to Santa Claus, when it's it's not like that. It's God's plan, not our plan. It's God's timing, not our timing. And so praying isn't like, please God, if I do this, then you'll give me this, right? That's not what this is about. Praying is about, you can, and of course you can ask for the circumstance you want, like definitely, you're allowed to ask for what you want, but this is really saying, instead of being so focused on that, and so focused on it has to be this particular outcome, just praying like, please, you can even pray for acceptance. Like, please give me acceptance while I wait for these things to unfold. Please grant me peace no matter what the outcome is. And please let the highest outcome for all happen, and you can think about this and how many things in our lives are we like, oh, we're so certain it has to be this specific way, this particular thing, and then it's not. And then later you're like, well, thank God it wasn't the way that I thought I wanted it to be. And so this is really, again, about, praying for the highest good for everyone, including yourself, and letting, again, releasing some of that control, having the boundaries, like we talked about with this. And then with that comes open your heart. So again, I feel like when you pray, for the highest good of all, instead of just like my specific thing of what I want, then the heart is a portal. And so once you do that, you kind of allow these things to move through you, and you just feel more at peace. It's a way to connect to being in your sovereignty. It's a way to connect to feeling powerful within yourself. When you do open your heart, and when you do allow these things to, again, kind of move through you, instead of just like, I have to have it all figured out, or this is the idea I have, so I need to take action on it right now. Again, that's not very helpful usually. It doesn't offer a lot for us. And it's when we can take a step back and kind of open our heart and wait for divine guidance. There's a difference between taking action when we feel divinely guided versus when we're just, I'm doing this right now because I feel this moment right now, this inspiration, this whatever, which again is good. But if we're only motivated by like that ego place, it's not long-term, it's not sustainable. Sometimes we can even mess ourselves up because we're listening to the ego instead of this higher power guidance. So this is about, again, opening your heart, letting your heart be a portal, be a channel. And just, it's easier for us to have trust in the timing when we do that, and when we have our connection to our higher power kind of flowing. And again, we have, not again, because it's a new card, but we have the Llama, soul growth. Growth is never easy. Have faith and trust in the journey. So again, a lot of trust coming through here for this group, re-energizing, repouring into yourself, kind of, pulling your energy back, setting these boundaries, knowing you needed to pull back from something in a way. It's knowing, have faith and trust in the journey. Growth is never easy. So you're like kind of upset that it didn't work out the way you wanted with this full moon, maybe you can release some judgment of yourself. You can release some of the ways that maybe you feel like you've been, some of the ways you've been like attaching ego stories to things, or feeling like a failure, or any and all of that. And instead focusing on, growth is never easy. It's not, no matter how much growing you've done before, how many things you've worked through before, right? That's part of the process. Have faith and trust in the journey. And again, this trust card, trust is coming through a lot for you all. So if you've been feeling like you can't trust anything, you can. This is your message. And then this card, we have simple pleasures for your last oracle card, which I feel like this is just really saying, just you enjoy your life by finding joy in simple pleasures, right? It's easier to trust when you can take a deep breath, when you can do some breathing, when you can, be happy, look at the sky, when you can just read a good book, drink a cup of tea. Just we find peace through these like small peaceful ways, instead of like think like, well, I just want to wipe this whole emotion away and just know what to do. And it's the sweet irony of trust and faith, is like we only strengthen our faith and trust by having faith and trust. So if you're not doing that, you're not going to be able to develop it more. And so this is really saying for your simple pleasures, just finding peace, finding stillness. Again, that prayer, you can even pray for acceptance, you can pray for peace, you can pray for that, but knowing that, part of our sovereignty comes, and part of feeling like we're connected in our power comes when we do connect to those simple pleasures, when we do connect to the things in life that just fill us up, make us feel connected, feel whole, feel, just these small ways we feel connected to oneness while that is. Maybe that's time in nature, maybe it's reading, meditating, taking a bath. Anything that just feels like a nice little simple pleasure for yourself could be beneficial for you. Group 3. Okay, and then last thing is I just want to put one little affirmation for each group. I've been doing that for all the readings. So group 3, let's see what affirmation we'll leave you with today. I choose happiness. So very nice, very simple. And just a reminder that, again, these simple pleasures, like while you're on the journey of everything, while you're figuring it out, while, we can get so focused on blah, 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 just, the saying, there is no arrival, right? So I choose happiness can just be a reminder to you to like enjoy just the miracle that is today, enjoy the miracle that is each moment, enjoy the peace that can be in each moment, enjoy the possibilities in each moment. And part of this re-energize energy we're talking about in the beginning can be you just feeling peace and gratitude and just trying to find little moments of stillness and serenity and gratitude, and all of that adds up and just can make so much of a difference of the way we see the world when we just remember that there is happiness and peace in these day-to-day moments for us. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Happy full moon. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.